Greetings and welcome to Paint Here Now. I am Will Parody, and today we are going to continue our exploration of complementary colors. So complementary colors are pairs of colors that when mixed sort of neutralize each other, or they have a wavelength that sort of interacts, balances each other out in a way, makes grays and browns, and helps to recede the other color into the distance. It's a very interesting phenomenon in color. So we're going to explore some of that today because it's a pretty cool thing. So last time we took some reds and some greens and mixed them together to create all of these different darker colors, these lighter browns and different types of greens, earthy colors, rock colors, almost blacks. It's just incredible what you can do with mixing these colors together, the complements respectively. So the complementary colors, just as a review, are red and green, orange and blue, and yellow and purple. And that is essentially, those are three primary colors paired with three secondary colors: a warm in red with a cool in green, a warm in orange with a cool in blue, and a warm in yellow with a cool in purple. Varying degrees of warm and cool, of course, but essentially that's what it is. So we have a nice pairing with these groups. So last time we looked at red and green, and we got this really interesting groupings of colors, and we can almost make this an abstract painting or pull it into some kind of a landscape if we wanted to. But today we're going to explore the next pair of complementary colors, which are orange and blue. And we're going to see the wide range of different colors, grays, browns, and useful hues and tones that we can get by mixing those colors. And mind you, we didn't use any white in this either. If we wanted lighter colors, we used some water, and we let the white, more or less white, of the paper underneath the paint come through to lighten things up. And we're going to do the same thing with orange and blue. So without further ado, let us get to orange and blue. All right, so here we go. Start with a couple different kinds of blue here. Do the lighter blue first. We're going to make sure we mix all our combinations here. We've got two blues and two oranges. So here is our first blue. Cerulean blue. It is this is a good solid color. It's paint that I like. It's a good brand. See what a nice little middle ground blue that is. Almost veering towards the lighter side, but not entirely. And as it dries, it'll darken some. We want to make it a little bit lighter. We'll take some water. Oh yeah, so I'm using might as well show this, a ice cube tray. I like to use these with paint. And we've got my oranges and blues and some other colors that are dried. And then we use this little jar or whatnot for our brushes, various kinds of brushes with some water. These are acrylic paints, water soluble. They dry fairly quickly. They will stain your clothing and carpets and stuff, so act accordingly. So add a little bit of water and we get a much nice lighter blue. See, we don't need white to show how light our hues can get. As you can see already, we have sky color, we have watercolor, no pun intended, and we have a whole array of colors you see in nature and in the world and in the sky. And some of the most important and biggest aspects of our physical world, our sky and our seas, you have colors like this. So beautiful blue that we can do a bunch of things with. Make a painting just out of this. It's lovely. And here we have a darker blue. Slightly different feel. You see, it's not just like you added some black to it. I mean, it's a different blue. Different elements or chemicals or whatnot are used to make this hue. So you can mix every color in the universe, in theory, out of red, yellow, and blue, and it's some combination therein. Not including necessarily things like iridescence or fluorescence that might require other things, but basic color mixing. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you buy a tube of blue that you can do every single combination, because blues are different. You know, like different blues have different qualities. So you might not get, you take any old yellow and any old blue, mix them together, you're not necessarily going to get this bright, beautiful, rich green. you will get more of a muddy green in a lot of cases, a darker, earthier green. It's beautiful and useful. But just because you could mix every color out of paint in theory doesn't mean you have all the right paints or combinations to do so. Which is why, one of the reasons why we're using two different blues mixing with oranges to show the difference. So as you can see, the same idea, you can see the difference in hues, not just in the values. Once we lighten them up and they're almost a similar value, you can see that they're just different colors. This almost looks purple next to this. This is greener in a way. But they're really nice colors. We're going to take up all our space here. Now we'll show you our oranges. One of them is a fluorescent orange. I do like to use those from time to time. Beautiful, bold color. Now the paint itself is a little bit on the thinner and weaker side than some of this other paint. But when we mix it with colors, it works out pretty good. You can see thins out similar way to get these lighter colors. It'd still be fluorescent, but it'll be, again, when you put a black light on it, it'll have a range of fluorescence, so it gives another sense of dimension. It looks really cool. So there's our fluorescent orange. Another nice orange color. Now we're going to use a more traditional orange. See the difference? Wow, it looks so dark next to this. So dark. But over here, it's, well, it's brighter, but it's you know, it definitely, it feels darker over here, right? So, same ideas. It's amazing how the exact same color will change when it's placed next to a different color. This color is different than this color, even though they're pretty much the right from the two. We didn't mix any other hues or pigments, but because of the relationship this color has to this and this to this, they're different. That's how it works. That's what color works. It's so dependent on the vibrations of the things around it. This, with no other colors around it, is different than this, surrounded by other colors even like it. So it's just a really awesome phenomenon. So you can get the idea. This is a nice solid orange. You can see it come through. You can see the difference in hues as well as tone, of course. So now what happens, since we have this orange on our brush, we might as well start with this orange and this blue. So that's what we are going to do. We're going to take some of that orange and take a scoop of this blue. It's probably going to be a little bit darker because we have a lot of the colder, darker color will often overwhelm the warmer, lighter color, depending on the paint you're using. But look at this incredible gray color we're getting out of here. Look at that. It's beautiful. Like if you mixed orange and yellow together, you're not going to get this. Orange and green, you won't get this. Orange, not exactly. Or blue and red. You know, it's the complements when you mix that get these rich grays and browns. So let's put some water in this. Just lighten it up and take another look at it. Oh, that's beautiful. What an awesome gray that is. We're not going to use any white yet. Not in these exercises. But if you do add white to these hues, you know, as you can see, just as we're thinning them out, the orange is really coming out more as it thins out, which is interesting. Maybe it's because it's stuck in my brush. Let's clean the brush a little bit better here. I usually just wipe my brushes and stuff on my clothing because that's a handy cleaning instrument there. But if you are a young person watching this and painting and your parents buy your clothing, please don't paint on your clothing without their permission. And just know that it essentially won't come out. So, all right, let's see. This is a little bit more on the bluer side. Oh, yeah, what a nice... Look at those grays. That is amazing. I love this. See, painting isn't just about, oh, I need to make this look like this. Oh, I want to... It's about the joy of discovery, of color, of the elements of our universe, and how that you can relate to them in whatever way you choose to in this universe of yours. It's absolutely incredible. So painting is not just about finding an image or copying an idea. In fact, it's not about that at all. It's about developing a relationship with color and form based on the expanses of how you can contributes to your imagination and the expanses of your imagination. Anyways, a lot of talk, which is to say painting is awesome and color mixing is cool. All right, so we've had these nice, look at these real nice colors. We're going to add a little bit more blue, this lighter blue in here I want to bring out cooler qualities of it. So it's almost a blue-gray. Look at that. Beautiful sky, stormy sky color, cloud color. Colors of water and stormy oceans, stones, asphalt to some degree even. I mean, look at that. Look at that awesome color. From just a little bit of water and these, we mix this, and we've got all this range so far. Now, let's see. Even more blue. Get even more of a blue-gray. Bring the blue out. But see what, like from this to this, what a nice change. Did you see how it tends to go back a little bit? So if you're painting something, water that you want to have more in the forefront, you'll use the bolder colors and you'll mix a little bit of orange for the water that you want in the background. Forefront, background, forefront, background. Oh yeah, we got to dance. Oh gosh, yeah, I don't know if you can see me on the side here, but I'm shaking. Oh yeah. All right, let's get back to this here. This is, to me, is such an incredibly beautiful color. Cool and calming and serene. Maybe even a little bit cold and a little bit lonely, but beautiful. All right, awesome. So now, yeah, we still got some space to fill here, so we be careful. Let's add some more orange. Some of this nice thick orange. I really like this orange. To the mix in here. So we already got some. Well, we didn't want to totally cover that. That's all right. And so now we can see we're getting something a little bit more like a brown. It'd be a good earth color, good rocks and stuff. Good Mars color. But nice, light, creamy, kind of almost a caramely-ish brown. Real nice color. Add a little bit more blue in here. But keeping it more on the brown side. Now that's a nice rich brown. The fine line between brown and gray, and it's a real useful line to cross and experiment with because very much in nature, those lines are all crossed all the time, and browns and grays everywhere you see, everywhere you go. Look at that. What a great little color. What a great brown color. Let's add a little bit more orange, lighten it up with some water. Again, nice brown, and the same idea, The bolder colors come up front, and the colors that have the more of the gray and more of the complements mix tends to recede. You can use this for, see that? Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Abstract painting as well as realistic painting. See the nice contrast there. Beautiful stuff. Whoops. So we'll mix a little bit more blue. You can just see this range. It's so cool. Another brown, different kind of a brown. Darker still with a little bit more blue. Add a little bit more blue yet. And it really brings the gray out in it. So we go from gray to brown. So one of the things, if you're mixing colors and you want to get more of a gray, you're mixing your complements and you're getting a lot of brown, add some cool color. Add a little bit of blue. If you're mixing red and green, add a little blue to your green. Or to the whole mix. But see, it just makes a big difference. Really bringing out the cool element, the gray. So look at this range from here down into here from mixing these two colors. Awesome stuff. Okay, so we're going to keep with this same blue, but we're going to switch to the fluorescent orange. So a little bit of the blue, quite a lot more of the orange. This blue is going to really hit this orange hard. Well, I didn't use that much blue, so. You can see the difference already because of that lighter color. But you're getting a nice dark orange here already, a nice kind of a nice warm brown. Definitely a harvesty color, pumpkin color. Leaves changing color. Beautiful, beautiful color. Add some more blue to this. And there we're starting to get more of that brown. Compare it up in here. Very similar, but also very different, a lot lighter in hue. Even if the, even if the gray matching is close. Let's do even more blue. The feeling that this is we're gonna see a real beautiful gray here. So again, with this brown, whoops. A nice brown. Tree bark color, branches and stuff. Really nice. Let's get some more blue in here. We're going to see a nice gray with this fluorescent orange. Touch more of our mix in here. Oh, nice. Let's see how this lightens up. Oh, beautiful. A little bit of orange still on the brush. What a nice, cool, nice gray. Beautiful. Beautiful. Does a similar thing with white. Of course, the white takes a little of the color away, which is saturation, I should say. It's pureness. That's why, like, as the color changes here, we can see that there is, the white makes it a little bit on the translucent side. When you add white paint, it keeps it thicker, but it takes away some of that color power, just in a different way. So nice range of color here. Again, this was this and that, and this is this. There's a good technical explanation of what's going on. And we're not getting super darks. I didn't think we would because of that orange is real light, but still, this and this to make this is quite a difference. Quite a dark. Beautiful gray, beautiful shadow color, beautiful earth color. Great stuff. All right, let's move on. We're going to go this dark and dark orange. So, well, that's going to be a lot. We'll put that here for safekeeping, and then some of this orange. What a nice color that is. Rich, earthy brown. Beautiful. Not unlike this, honestly. Wow, that's really close. And that was the fluorescent and the lighter blue. That's really interesting. It's almost like the mix is lighter with the darker colors. Oh, then as we add more blue, we see it gets pretty dark. Look at that. Oh, almost a black. When that dries, that's going to be super dark. Rich, dark, earthy color. You can see the usefulness of this color all over the place. Trees and earth and shadows. Just the feeling it has, the imagination. It's something that's almost rich. It gets chocolatey almost. Makes hungry. Maybe I'm getting hungry. Oh, the red is really coming out with this mix, because I feel like I pointed it out, and you can see it here, that this blue was almost a little more on the purple side, and this blue was a little more on the green side, or warm and cool side. You can see the comparison. And so as we mix this orange with this blue, which already has red in it because it's orange, the red of the blue, do you see how that's coming out, how purple it looks? It's like a purple brown. That is so neat. See, I'm learning. You learn something new every time you pick up a brush and mix colors, if you allow yourself to. So awesome. And so as we mix a little bit more blue, you can see how it cools off some. Still, it's almost like a light lavender. Really awesome. That's so neat. doesn't get as cool. It just doesn't get cool like that because of that blue. See what I mean about the different blues? It's like not all blues are created the same. You just look how different, even with all this blue in there. Look how different. Really cool stuff, though. Really cool stuff. All right, let's keep mixing some colors with this orange. Lighten it up a little bit for some real interesting kinds of lighter browns. Again, with that harvesty color. A little bit more. Just really neat to see how different it is. I really like the rich browns you can get, the rich dark browns you can get by mixing this blue and this orange. I think that's really cool. All right, let us move on to our final mix, and we'll play around a little. We are going to do this dark blue and the fluorescent orange. So there's the dark blue, fluorescent orange. I have a feeling we'll get some nice rich browns in this too, and warmer grays. I don't think we're going to get as cool. And again, it's that blue. It's a warm blue. Another set of beautiful colors. See the different, oh yeah, richness. Similar to in here, but a little different, a little bit rich. You can see, actually, you can almost see the purple, the difference. If you look close. A little bit more orange, see what happens. I really like that. I really like that. Just neat. This would be a good color for like some sunsets and stuff. Like in the distance, it's not always just bright orange. You know, you've got some shadows. There's trees and things that might reflect around. Anyways, very cool stuff. And let's add some more blue. Kind of a lot of blue here. Yep, it gets darker. Again, it's this beautiful brown, rich brown gray. But again, it's very purple. That warm is really popped out. Oh my gosh. It might as well have made a purple. I like this purple as a purple better than when I mix the red and blue together. That is amazing. Well, this blue and then the red I've been using. See, look at that. We go to gray and brown and we get this incredible type of purple because of the amount of the warmth that is in both of these colors. Nonetheless, see, look at that. Oh, I'm already seeing it here. It looks like an ocean scene in the clouds and this and that. But what a beautiful color that is. Put a little bit of the warm back in there and we get more of a brown. Let's add a little bit of this other orange just to see what happens. You can see it warms it up almost instantly. Can you see the difference there? Look at that and that. That's, oh, beautiful. Warm and cool colors. Look at the richness. So, again, we took 4 colors. This orange, this blue, and this blue. And we mixed them all together and got all of these browns, purples, grays. Incredible amount of color mixing. Incredible amount of colors to find mixing these things together. Add a little bit of the lighter blue to see what happens. Beautiful. So you add a little bit of the lighter blue into this purple. It cools it off some, brings the gray out a little bit more. Oh yeah. Definitely brings it out some more. So you're not restricted to mixing that has to be this color to that. Mix them all together. Take every color, mix them together a bunch, see what happens, because that is your palette. That is the language, or should I say the letters that make up the language in your universe. So awesome stuff. Again, we can just keep going and see the differences. Almost make a painting out of this. See, look at the huge range of colors just by mixing a few together. It's going to be all very useful. And again, it's like scratching the surface. Haven't even added white. All right, so as you can see, we did some fun mixing with blue and orange today, and we saw, which are complementary colors, and we saw the incredible range of browns and grays and even purples because of the warmth of these colors that come from mixing these things. Look at these grays, beautiful colors, stormy sky or whatnot, even up in here, and these browns, tree colors, and earth and stones, and just all from mixing orange and blue. That's it, two colors, four, considering we had two blues and two oranges. But it's incredible the range of color and the range of opportunities that present themselves by just mixing the complementary colors together. We're going to keep mixing colors together. The next lesson, we're going to do our last pair of complements, which is yellow and purple. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that. That'll be interesting too. They tend to be some interesting, warm, real, rich browns and interesting colors. So we're going to continue to mix and explore. And in the meantime, please be well, stay healthy, feel love in your heart, share with people, be creative, and continue to make art. Thank you all very much for your ear and your time.